Afternoon, all Jeep Prepper here. Did a bunch of running around today. Tried to give a small shop some business. They weren't open today, so I had to go to two different parts stores, and I almost didn't go to the second one. I was debating on trying to get it from Summit or Classic Industries or something, but things go right. The alternator that I need and the water pump that I want to have on hand for when the one that's in there quits. We'll be here tomorrow. I'm hoping that all the noise that I was hearing, there wasn't engine noise, but it was noise that shouldn't be there, is from the alternator. If the alternator shows up tomorrow, then I'll know that, because I'll put it back in and I'll crank it up again. So one of the things I did when I pulled the alternator yesterday, I cut and refit rigid fuel line. The way it was in there, the first time I put it in there was putting a bind on one end of the fuel filter that's before the pump. And eventually that would have caused a crack in the fuel filter, and it would have been leaking fuel, possibly caused a fire and all kinds of other shit. So while I had the alternator out, I went ahead and did that. When I get the alternator, hopefully tomorrow, I'll put it back in and crank it back up, or I might put it back in and wait. Some people will say why. It's really not because I want to, it's because I have heater hose on hand now, and I'm going to, if things go right, change out the heater core that I have for that car, and then run new heater hose and basically crank it up again, see what it does. I know that the water pump is working and the thermostat is working because it's circulated water when I was running it. And the other thing I did today was I bought a breather thing for the valve cover. The stock system went to the air breather on the carburetor, and that's one of the things I got to do. I got to source a 6-inch, maybe a 9 or 10-inch air breather that's not the way that the one is that's on there right now. I just pulled it off this afternoon because it's binding on something and it's not setting right. So I think that whatever I caught on the 19th might be trying to turn into bronchitis. It's been 2 weeks, and I'm spending less and less time coughing shit out of my lungs in the morning, but I still have coughing fits, so it is what it is. It's a new year. I did not do the what I had plans for and goals for last year, and what I achieved and what I didn't achieve, because everything fucking changed. And then this year I'm going to do one for myself, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm a big advocate of making yourself a list of things that you want to get done for the year. Like, I missed that over there. It needs to come out. I need to redo the wall. And then I need to remove the master bedroom tub and put the clawfoot tub in there. So those are 3 big projects that I wanted to get done last year that didn't get done. Just didn't have time. The back porch is basically done. I have a new table right there, and that piece was supposed to go right on this side, but because of the way it was set up, and after setting it up, I took it down, and then it's just been laying back here. So while it's set up and functional, I have not sealed the wood, which I need to do. So I got to get some throwaway paintbrushes and shellac both sides of it and the edges, and then drill it and screw it down, and then it'll be basically done. I have restacked some of the water I had back here. I don't know that it would be safe to drink. It's a 1.5 years old, so it's going to go mostly to water and plants probably this summer. But make yourself a list, make it realistic, make sure you spend some time doing shit that you enjoy. You know, all things point and portend to something bad happening, but to be realistic, nobody actually knows what that is. And there's a lot of indicators out there that digital currency, digital ID, and electric cars are all going to be designed to restrict our movement. So that's the thing. And then you got all the conflicts around the world just like waiting to happen. You got the silver and precious metals markets acting all crazy. So I do believe in preparing for what you know may happen, which are weather events in your areas and natural disasters. Worrying about nuclear and all that shit ain't gonna do anything but give you a fucking ulcer or a heart attack. I said over and over and over that I didn't believe in the mask and all that shit. But after seeing some of the things that have happened, where you need a mask if something happens because the air gets to a point where it's unsafe for you to breathe. So, and then realistically, you need a Geiger counter so that you know if there is ever a nuclear attack where you're actually walking somewhere because you can't stay where you're at. Then having one of those would be good, but you also need to know how to use it. So in the Army, we always had a test thing for that shit to make sure that our meters were working. I don't know if the civilian version of that would come with that, but basically you get it close to the meter and then it's supposed to set it off. But if it's setting the meter off, then it's probably radioactive. So communications for emergencies, radios, all that shit, you need to invest money in it. I've done that part, but I haven't spent the time to program them. So right now they're paperweights. So, you know, work on your stuff and work on getting debt free if you can. It's a big thing. There's a gun show tomorrow. I'm debating on even going because most of the time I pay money to go in and walk around. I don't buy anything. So right now I need to spend money in other places rather than buying a gun. But Happy New Year's. I hope the year treats everyone well. Try to make good decisions. Try to make decisions based on the best information you can find. Do your own research. You know, I don't know where silver's at today. I think it was at 72 or something yesterday. And the highest number I saw last year was 1,000. Now I'm seeing numbers as high as 2,000. Of course, that's just conjecture. But everything that they talk about, it's the same shit on a lot of the different channels. Makes you wonder if they're doing a pump and dump or if what they're saying is true, where the world is going to have a silver shortage. So, I'm not a financial advisor, so you need to research your own stuff. Other than that, it's January 2nd. You know, we're all getting back into the grind. You know, it's something that we need to do. Information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot, share the love. Chief Prepper, out.